Welcome back to the deep dive. Usually we're sitting here tearing apart, business strategy or maybe dissecting some complex geopolitical trend. We're always looking at charts and data sets.
Right.
But today we are shifting gears. We are doing something, I don't know, much more tactile, much more human.
A bit of a pivot, isn't it?
It is. Today we are looking at the mechanics of connection. Specifically, we are going to learn how to introduce yourself, establish your identity, and explain your existence in one of the most culturally significant dialects in the world,
Okay.
Egyptian Arabic.
I love this topic. I
Yeah.
really do. Because if you think about it, language is the ultimate source material.
It's the operating system.
It's the operating system for human interaction. And Egyptian Arabic specifically, I mean, it's the powerhouse of the Middle East. It's the dialect of cinema, of music, of media. If you learn this, you aren't just unlocking Cairo, you're unlocking a massive chunk of the Arab-speaking world's cultural consciousness.
Right. And I want to be super clear about our source material today. We aren't just pulling random phrases from a travel blog.
Right.
We are deep diving into a specific structured linguistic module. It's titled Lesson O2 Nationality. This is a for the streets guide.
And that distinction is critical. The source material explicitly flags that we're dealing with a Mia colloquial Egyptian.
Not fuchsia.
We're not doing Fusha, which is modern standard Arabic.
I always get those mixed up. I mean, before we even start with the words, give us the quick and dirty on that difference. Why does it matter?
Okay, think of it this way. Fusha is what you'd read in a legal contract or what you hear in a formal religious sermon or on a news ticker. It's a bit like Shakespearean English.
Oh, okay, so very formal.
Very structured, rigid, and it's universal across Arab countries. Amiya. Amiya is what you speak in the coffee shop. It's flexible, it's fast, and it's just full of life. If you walk into a shop in downtown Cairo speaking perfect Fusha, you won't sound smart, you'll sound like a time traveler from the 12th century.
Which is definitely not the vibe we're going for.
Not at all.
We want to blend in, or at least sound like we know what we're doing. So, here's the mission for this deep dive. I am appointing myself the designated learner.
I like that.
We're going to deconstruct the specific examples in this lesson. So, questions about origin, nationality, residence. I'm going to vocalize them. I'm going to put my mouth to work here. And you are going to break down the grammar mechanics so we all understand why the sounds are the way they are.
Perfect. We're moving from just rote memorization to structural understanding.
Exactly. So let's unpack this. Let's start at ground zero. The source material kicks off with the absolute most common question you get asked as a foreigner, or really anyone meeting someone new. Where are you from?
It's the universal coordinate check, right?
Yeah.
But in Arabic, you hit a speed bump immediately.
Immediately.
In English, I look at you and say, where are you from? I look at a woman. Where are you from? I look at a group. Where are you from? The you never changes.
But in Arabic, the grammar is gendered. The you changes depending on who you're looking at.
Precisely. It forces a moment of recognition. You have to acknowledge the identity of the person before you can even address them. You can't just be on autopilot.
Okay, so looking at our source, let's tackle the male form first. If I'm asking a guy, where are you from? The text gives us, let me try this, entemening.
Spot on. Enta menien, let's break that down. Enta is the pronoun you for a male.
Right.
And menien is a fascinating little compound word. It's fusing men meaning from and fein meaning where.
Oh, wait, so it literally smashes from where into one word, menain.
Exactly. It's incredibly efficient. Entamening.
Entemene. Okay, I'm getting the rhythm. Now, swap the target. I'm talking to a woman. The source says the pronoun shifts.
Yep. The consonant skeleton stays the same, but the vowel shifts. Enta becomes enti.
Enti. Okay. And does the question word change? Does menain change?
No, menain stays frozen. It's an interrogative, a question word, so it doesn't have a gender. Only the person does.
So the full phrase for a woman is enti menain.
You got it. Entamenein for him. Entamenein for her.
It's subtle, isn't it? Just that little vowel drop at the end. Enta. N-T-A. But if you miss it, does it sound totally wrong to a native speaker?
It sounds jarring. Imagine someone calling you she in the middle of a sentence. It won't stop comprehension. They'll know what you mean. But it signals immediately that you aren't paying attention to the details. It creates a tiny bit of distance.
And we want to close that distance. Okay, so we've asked the question. Entemenien. Now we need to answer. The source provides a formula for I am from.
And here is the good news for you and for all the learners listening. The word for I is gender neutral.
Thank goodness.
It is simply Anna.
That's easy.
Whether you're a man or a woman, you are Anna. And the preposition from men doesn't change either.
So the base blocks are just Anamen, and then you slot in the country.
Right. It's modular.
Mhm.
Anamen,
Yeah.
wherever.
But looking at the source here, you can't just slot in the English name of the country. You can't say Anamen, Egypt.
Definitely not. No. Egypt is the English name. It's derived from Greek Copts. The Arabic name, the name the locals use, is much older and heavier.
The source lists it as
Mass. Mass. It's a short, punty, one-syllable word, but notice the S and the R. It's not masser, it's masser. That R is tapped slightly.
and then Masser. It feels like this is deeper in the throat than the word Egypt.
It does. It has gravity. It refers to the civilization itself.
Okay, let's go to the other side of the world. The source lists America.
This is what we call a cognate or a loan word that's been, Arabized.
It's written here as America.
America, the vowels are stretched. In English, we swallow the vowels. We say, ooh, America. We rush through it.
Right.
In Arabic, you articulate them. America.
Anamen, America. That's hard to mess up. Like that one. What about England? The source has Englandra.
Englendra. This one is interesting. It adds a suffix to the end compared to the English word. It's not England. It's Englendra.
Anamen, Englandria. I hear that extra ra at the end. And the last one in the section is Saudi Arabia. Now, in English, that's a mouthful. How does the source handle it?
It shortens it to the Saudis. El Sathridaya.
Anamen El Sathridaya.
And notice the L at the front. That's the definite article, they. Some countries in Arabic carry the legally. It's not just Saudi. It is the Saudi kingdom.
Anamen El Sathridaya. Okay, so that handles the from question. This is what I call geography mode. I am pointing to a spot on the map. Anamen Masur. Anamen America. But the lesson pivots here. It moves from geography to identity.
This is a crucial leap. We are moving from prepositions like from to adjectives for nationality. And in Arabic, this changes everything grammatically.
Because adjectives have to agree with the gender of the speaker, right?
Exactly. When you said Anamen America, America is just a noun, a place. It doesn't care if you are male or female.
Yeah.
But if you want to say, I am American, American is now describing you. So it has to wear your gender.
The source calls this the nisba adjective. That sounds technical. What does that mean?
Nisba comes from the root word for relation or attribution. It's a linguistic tool that lets you take any noun, a city, a country, a tribe, and turn it into a descriptor just by adding a suffix. It's how you turn Egypt into Egyptian.
Okay, let's look at the male pattern first. The source lists Egyptian for a male as Misri.
See what happened there? We took Masr, the country, and added a Y sound, technically a Ya letter at the end. Masr becomes Masri. That Y is the Nisba. It literally means of Egypt.
A Masri. So if I'm a guy, I say Ana Masri. Simple enough. Now, what if I'm a woman? The source lists Mazreya.
Okay, listen closely to the end of that word. Masri versus Mazreya. We've added another layer. We kept the Nisba Y, but we tacked on the feminine marker. The ta marbuta. It sounds like an A or A.
So it's a two-step process in your brain?
In your head, yes.
Right.
Until it becomes muscle memory.
Yeah.
Noun, male adjective, female adjective. Masri, Mazreya.
Mazreya. Let's apply that logic to American. The male form listed is Amriki,
Amriki. Just add the Y.
and the female form.
Amazreya.
It really has a rhyme to it. Amriki, Amrikia, Mazaria, Masreya, and for Saudi,
So Friudi for a male. So Thridia for a female.
Sathridea. You know, for an English speaker, this is the hardest part to habitualize. I don't think about my gender when I say I'm hungry or I'm tired or I'm American.
That's because English has largely stripped gender from its grammar over the centuries. Arabic is hypergendered. It forces you to constantly be aware of who is speaking and who is listening. It creates this web of agreement in every single sentence.
So if you get the gender wrong...
The sentence feels like it's limping. It's unbalanced.
So practically speaking, if I'm a female listener right now, I need to burn that Aya sound into my brain.
Yeah.
Masreya, Amerkeya.
Yes. Make it your default setting. Don't wait to translate it from the male version. Just learn the block. Anna Misreya.
All right, let's move to the next section of the source material. We've covered who you are and where you're from. Now we cover where you are currently.
Location versus origin, a very common distinction in travel.
This source highlights a very specific verb here. It says Egyptians use three esh to mean living. But I feel like I've heard other words used in, standard Arabic courses.
You have. In MSA or other dialects, you'll often hear sakin, which means residing or dwelling. It's a bit static. It's like saying, I occupy a house in Cairo. It's correct, but it's clinical.
Yeah, the three esh.
Three H comes from the root ash life. In fact, bread in Egypt is called aish because it represents life itself.
Oh, wow.
So when you say Ana Thriesh, you aren't just saying I reside, you're saying I am living my life.
Yeah?
It's vibrant, it's active. It implies you are part of the city's pulse.
That is such a cool nuance. I want to say I'm living there, not just storing my luggage there.
Exactly.
So let's look at the question format. Asking a male, where are you living?
Enta Thriesh Fain.
Riesh. That's the active participle. You living where?
Right. Enta Thriesh Fain.
And for a female, does the living word change too?
It has to. It's acting as a descriptor of the person's state. So just like the nationalities, it takes the feminine ending. Thriesh becomes Thriaisha.
Thriasha. So the question is, Enti Thriasha Fain.
Exactly. Anti-Thriasha, anti-Thriasha.
Okay, let's look at the answers. The source gives us two major cities, Cairo and Giza. Let's pretend I'm a guy living in Cairo.
You would say.
Yeah.
Ana Thriesh, Felkahera.
Okay, let's pause. There's a lot happening in that last chunk, Felkahera. It sounds like one word.
It is a collision of words. You have fe, in, and elda. In English, we separate them. In, the Cairo.
Great.
In Egyptian Arabic, we mash them together. Fel, it just flows.
Fel. And then Kahera is Cairo.
Al-Kahira literally means the vanquisher or the victorious. It's a powerful name. But in the sentence, yeah, it flows together. Anathriasha, Felkahira.
And if I'm a woman living in Giza?
You switch the verb. Anathriasha, and then Giza. Anathriasha, Fel Giza.
Fel Giza. Why is Giza highlighted separately? I always thought Giza was just a neighborhood in Cairo near the pyramids.
Well, geographically, it feels like one megacity. But administratively, Giza is its own governorate on the west bank of the Nile. Cairo is on the east. For a local, the distinction matters. It's kind of like saying you live in Jersey versus New York, even if you're 5 minutes apart across the river.
Got it. So precision matters. Anathriasha Fel Giza.
And notice again that smooth connector fel. If you
Yeah.
pause and say Anathriasha, Fel Giza Ailsha, you sound robotic.
Like a textbook.
Exactly. You have to slide. Fel Giza.
I'm going to practice that slide. Fel Giza. Fel Kahera.
Much better.
Okay, we have the building blocks. We have the from where, intiminain, the nationality, Masri Masrea, and the living where, Thriash Fain. The source material wraps this up with a dialogue script.
This is where we see the pro-drop feature of Arabic in action.
Pro drop. That sounds like a basketball move.
Pronoun dropping, it's a linguistic term. Let's act the dialogue out and I'll show you what I mean. I'll be the local, person A. You be John, person B.
Ready? I am John.
Asmake,
Esme John.
entamenain,
Anamin Emrika.
Thrieshfain,
Thriashesh Felkahera.
Sharafna.
Okay, let's rewind. That felt fast. In the third exchange, you asked, where do you live? But you didn't say enta. You just said Thriash Fain.
Exactly, because we're eye to eye. I know I'm talking to you. In English, we can't really do this. We can't say living where without sounding like a caveman.
Right.
But in Arabic, because the verb thriash is conjugated for a male, the you is baked into the word. I don't need to say it twice.
It's efficiency again. And I did the same thing in my response. I didn't say Anna Thriash Felkahera. I just said Thriash Felkahera.
Correct. You drop the ana, it makes the conversation snap, it's faster, it implies level of comfort.
And then that final word you used, Sharafna, that's the closer.
It's the magic word. It literally translates to, we have been honored.
That feels deeper than just nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you is pleasant, but it's shallow. Sharafna carries weight. It comes from sharaf, honor.
Yeah.
It implies that meeting you has added to my honor. It elevates the interaction from a casual chat to a moment of respect.
That's beautiful. And it's one word, Sharafna.
If you learn nothing else from this deep dive, learn sharafna. It covers a multitude of grammatical sins.
A get out of jail free card.
It is. If you mess up your gender endings, if you stumble over Masr or Giza, but you finish with a sincere sharafna, you're forgiven. You've shown you understand the culture of hospitality.
That's a great tip. So, pulling it all together from our source, we've learned that Egyptian Arabic demands you check the gender of your listener instantly, enta or enti.
We've learned that nationality is an adjective, so it has to transform. Masri becomes Mazreya.
We've also learned that living is an active state thriesh and totally distinct from where you are from.
And we've learned to slide our words together with fel and drop our pronouns when we're in the flow.
It's a lot for a short lesson, but it's the foundation of everything else. I mean, if you can't say who you are, you can't really say anything.
Exactly.
Before we sign off, is there a final takeaway here? Something that goes beyond the grammar?
I think there's a philosophical point in the distinction between enta meaning, where are you from, and thriesh fain, where are you living?
Oh, so.
In a globalized world, and especially in a transient hub like Cairo, these two things are increasingly disconnected. You will meet people who are Menamrika from America, but Threesh Vel Kahira living in Cairo for 20 years. Their origin is one thing, but their life is another.
That's true. It tells a story of movement.
And conversely, you'll meet Egyptians who are Masri, but they are living in the mental space of the West. Or they are Masri but Threesh in a completely different reality within the city. When you ask these two questions, where from and living where, you are just filling out a form. You are triangulating someone's story. You are finding the gap between their roots and their daily existence. And that gap is where the interesting conversation happens.
I love that. The grammar is just the key to open the door to that story.
Precisely.
Well, consider us honored to have walked through this with you. Chirafna, listeners.
Sharaf.
Now go practice. Anna Threesh. Anna Men. Talk to your steering wheel if you have to. We'll see you on the next deep dive.